What's going on, guys? JSGC here, back again for another Manchester City video, where today we're going to be doing loan report number 3. So before I do crack on with this video, make sure, like always, if you are enjoying the content, do subscribe to my channel. It's free to subscribe. Social media links there in the description if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up on the video. Do let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And finally, I would say a big thank you to today's video sponsor, which is brought to you by SofaScore. SofaScore is an app that's going to keep you guys up to date with all the latest football scores, along with the latest match information, match statistics, team news and so much more. Not just limited to football, it's got all the scores and information covered for the sports that you guys love to follow, all in one place, all in one app. It's a very highly rated app. It is free to download, and anyone that does download using my link in the description or the QR code on screen does help to support the future content created here on my channel. So loan report number 3, today we're going to be looking at Claudio Echeverri, Kayky, True Grant, Joshua Wilson-Esbrand and Kyle Walker. And as you can see from the title of the video, the real meat is going to be Kyle Walker and what the future does hold, and what the future may look like for Kyle Walker, and what the future may look like in terms of fullbacks for Manchester City heading into the summer and beyond. So, firstly, we're going to speak about Claudio Echeverri, now joined up with the Manchester City first team squad, but he did spend the European season, so that's between June of 2024 through to February of 2025, out on loan at River Plate. He did spend some time with the Argentina under-20 team ahead of the under-20 Copa America through January and February of this year, and he's now linked up with Manchester City from February and beyond. I don't believe he's being called up to the international squad for this international break, so be continuing to work alongside the Manchester City first team, and potentially could make his Manchester City debut at some point later in this season. So the 19-year-old Argentinian attacking midfielder from River Plate spent all of 2024 at River Plate, making 30 appearances, scoring 3 goals, grabbing 6 assists, and as I said, is now joined up with the Man City first team squad from February. Still yet to make his Manchester City debut. That could come in the coming weeks. He did impress and did really well at the under-20 Copa America with Argentina, making 9 appearances and scoring 6 goals and assisting 3. So 9 appearances, 9 goal contributions, and I wonder now if Manchester City would like to give him some minutes around the first team squad between now and the end of the season. And I'm wondering if City do want him to try and gel and settle in. I wonder if City could just give him maybe a couple of games with the elite development squad, see how he gets on with the academy whilst training him around the first team squad, and see if we can help him to gel in a little bit quicker. But I imagine City's plan will be to get him to make his senior debut for City in the Premier League before the end of the season. They'll want to use him around the Club World Cup, and heading into next season, I imagine that City will want to keep him around the City first team squad for at least another year. I wouldn't rule out potentially him being loaned out somewhere else into Europe to get him used to European football, but you've got to remember, at 19 years old, he's well before his prime just yet. He's still a teenager, and it is going to take time, and I wouldn't imagine that we're going to see the very best out of Claudio Echeverri for another 2 to 3 seasons, if I'm being completely honest, but clearly highly rated at Manchester City, under contract until 2028, and was signed for £12.5 million and done very well in Argentina, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do for Manchester City as well. And speaking of South Americans, I want to speak about Kayky, the 21-year-old Brazilian forward. Spent the first half of the season on loan at Sparta Rotterdam in the Netherlands before joining CFG side Bahia in Brazil again in January. Now, he made 6 appearances in the Eredivisie, scoring and assisting no goals, playing in just 8% of all available minutes to him, and that meant he wanted to leave, and he's ended up heading to Brazil. This is his second stint at Bahia in Brazil, and he's featured in just 8% of minutes so far for Bahia this season. I do believe he's on loan for the whole of 2025, so the whole of the season for Bahia. His Manchester City contract expires in 2027, and for me, for the sake of his career, needs selling on a permanent basis, because when we first signed him, he was a hot prospect. He was very much a Brazilian wonder kid. It's just not really worked out for him at Manchester City. In fact, he's, for me, become the forgotten Brazilian wonder kid at Manchester City, who now no longer is a kid, 21 years old, entering towards the prime of his career. So for me, I do believe his future isn't at Manchester City, unfortunately. Now, moving on, let's speak about True Grant, a 19-year-old English goalkeeper on loan at Buxton in the National League North in England. That's playing in Tier 6, so 6 tiers below where we find the Premier League. He's made 35 appearances, conceding 45 goals with 7 clean sheets, featuring in 90% of all starts and minutes for Buxton. Very much a regular who's getting valuable experience in the men's game. Now, I'm not too sure about his Manchester City contract, but I imagine if he's still got time on his contract, Manchester City will want him to have another loan and this time start working his way up the leagues. If he's done National League North and done very well, I imagine maybe Man City will start looking at the National League or League 2, so looking at Tier 4, Tier 5 of English football and start working him up. At only 19 years old, the world's very much still his oyster. City could keep him around the under-21 squad as well should Scott Carson leave. His contract is on a 12-month rolling contract, so I don't know what the future holds for him, but if Scott Carson ends up walking away, then Manchester City could well call up current EDS goalkeeper Spike Britz as their third choice keeper, or if Spike Britz ends up leaving out on loan, then I wouldn't rule out True Grant being Manchester City's elite development squad goalkeeper for the upcoming season for 2025-2026, but all good experience for him, and delighted that he's doing very well at Buxton. Now, moving on, Joshua Wilson-Esbrand, the 22-year-old English left-back on loan at Stoke City in the Championship. That's Tier 2 here in England. Now, he joined them in January after spending the first half of the season around the City elite development squad, and he did spend some time around the first team as well, and did pre-season with the first team too. I didn't think he looked too shabby, to be honest, with the Manchester City first team squad, but since joining Stoke City, he's made 4 appearances with no goals and 1 assist. He's featured in 22% of all available minutes to him, with his contract at Manchester City not up until 2027, and all moves that he's made to the Championship have not really materialised into anything. I do wonder if Manchester City may just contemplate a permanent sale of JWE heading into the summer transfer window, and if he is to be loaned, maybe if it's not working out in the Championship, start looking at League 1 instead and have a look at one of the big boys, the local teams, you know, the likes of Wigan, Bolton, Wrexham's not even too far, but move out there somewhere and see if that pays dividends for him, because the Championship, I'm not sure. He just doesn't seem to be ever getting the minutes that, in my opinion, he deserves, and this is the downside you have to the loan market. So it is what it is. Anyway, moving on, let's speak about Kyle Walker, the 34-year-old English right-back on loan at AC Milan. He joined in January since then, made 6 appearances with no goals or assists, but featured in 54% of all available minutes to him so far. Thomas Tuchel has called him up to the England first-team squad once more. Kyle Walker seems like he's enjoying life in Italy. His wife was pictured the other day wearing a big diamond ring, which I presume has been given to her by her husband, Kyle Walker. If I'm honest, Kyle Walker, he seems happier, and that's really good to see. And AC Milan have got an option to buy for €5 million this summer. The rumours are saying that AC Milan have already got in contact with Kyle Walker's agent to make this deal permanent. So we'll see Kyle Walker's contract with Manchester City up in the summer of 2026. Of course, the former captain at Manchester City as well. AC Milan do want to negotiate on that €5 million, but I can imagine Manchester City being happy to negotiate as long as Kyle Walker's wages are off their wage bill and Kyle Walker is away from the club. Then I don't think Manchester City would be too fussed about what the future does hold. I think it's all about what does Kyle Walker want to do. If he wants to come back to England, then is there a chance that a small fee could be negotiated for him to go somewhere else, and keep an eye on his boyhood club, Sheffield United, having a good season in the Championship. If they're promoted, they could afford to bring in Kyle Walker. Kyle Walker's boyhood club, he's spoken before about ending his career at Sheffield United, and I think that's an option should AC Milan not work out for him. But I very much see Kyle Walker now not being a player of Manchester City beyond this season. I can see a permanent sale for him somewhere in the summer, and it means Man City will have to look at fullbacks and right backs heading into the summer transfer window, and already starting to get linked with some names. So I would say that Kyle Walker now starting to look like a distant memory at Manchester City. So that has been loan report number 3 done and dusted. We've got one more loan report to go, which will be out tomorrow, where we'll cover Issa Kabore, Kian Brecken, Jadel Katongo, Thomas Galvez, and Juma Bar. So I will see you for that. So if you did enjoy the video, please do leave a thumbs up. That would be much appreciated. It lets me know that you are enjoying the loan reports. Also, don't forget as well to leave your thoughts in the comments below. Subscribe as well if you're new around here. Press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. It is free to subscribe. Social media links, they're in the description if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. And finally, do go and check out today's video sponsor, which is brought to you by SofaScore. I'll see you all again real soon for the next Manchester City loan report tomorrow. Loan report number 4. I'll see you then. So I've been JSGC. Thank you everyone for watching. Hope everyone is safe and well. Peace. Ciao for now.